Shalom, everyone, and nearly Shabbat Shalom. Today is Friday. Today is the seventh day of the Hebrew month of Av. Today is August the 1st, and we are about to start a new book this Shabbat with our weekly portions, and that is the book of Deuteronomy. The first portion of Deuteronomy is always read right before Tisha B'Av. Tisha B'Av is the ninth day of the Hebrew month of Av, and that is the day in which we mourn for the loss of the temples. Both temples were destroyed on the same date, 100 years apart from one another, and that is this date, the ninth of Av, which this year will take place on, it will start on Saturday night, and will go all the way to Sunday evening. The portion starts with one very interesting verse. It says, "These were the words, or these are the words that Moses has placed before the children of Israel." The book of Deuteronomy is Moses' goodbye speech. It's a 5-week long book, which also teaches us a lot about the importance of this book. When we think about Genesis covers about 2,500 years. Then the book from Exodus to the beginning of Deuteronomy, 3 books, Exodus, Leviticus, and Numbers, they cover 3 books. They cover 40 years, the 40 years journey in the wilderness. The last book, the book of Deuteronomy alone, covers 5 weeks only, which really shows the focus of scriptures out of the 5 books, where the importance lies, where the practical importance really lies. And it seems that the book of Deuteronomy is that sort of answer. The book of Deuteronomy starts with, "These are the words that Moses placed before the children of Israel," which raises a question, because when we go back to the very, very early stage of Moses becoming a leader, that is in the burning bush, in the book of Exodus chapter 3, God is asking Moses to go and speak to Pharaoh and say to him, "Let my people go." Moses is arguing with the mission, he's arguing with the calling, and he's beginning to give all kinds of reasons why he shouldn't be the one to do so. One of the reasons was that he wasn't the eldest. I mean, Aaron can do it. Aaron is already there and he's older than I am. Maybe he should do it. One of the reasons was, "I am not a man of words." Moses is saying to him at the beginning, "I'm not a man of words." And the Jewish understanding is, the Jewish tradition is, that Moses had some speech impediment. Moses was stuttering, and he didn't see it as the right thing, as appropriate, that he, with his difficulties, with his disability, will be the one to go and speak before Pharaoh and give him the word of the Lord. He didn't see it quite the most respectful thing to do for God. He said, "I'm not a man of words." And then God said to him, "Who gave man a mouth?" And that's already in chapter 4 in Exodus. In our book, we see that these are the words that Moses has placed before the children of Israel. So at the beginning of his calling, he was not a man of words. He said, "I am not a man of words." But here, these are the words that Moses has placed before the children of Israel. So, are you a man of words or are you not? The book of Deuteronomy does not begin with, "Thus says the Lord," or it doesn't start with, "And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the children of Israel and say to them." No, it's not about that. These are the words that Moses has placed before the children of Israel. Moses, as a leader, in his last 5 weeks in position, in office, before he died, he gave them a 5-week-long goodbye speech. These are his words, with God's approval to give them that kind of all those words. God is approving. He's agreeing with Moses with everything that he's saying. He is making it part of his own everlasting word. It's not like we can say that these are Moses' words, so it's not really God's, so we don't really take it seriously. No, God is agreeing with everything that Moses is saying, and he's making it part of his everlasting book. Otherwise, he would not have done so. So are you a man of words or are you not? And the answer, a possible answer, one possible answer may be that there are 40 years, about 40 years between these two incidents, between the burning bush and where we are now. And during those 40 years, Moses was trained as a leader. But and being a leader, being a true leader, is not to say your own thing, even when you speak your own thing. A true leader that serves God and comes from God's approval to his role in the nation. A true leader like that, even when he speaks his own words, they're not his own words, they're God's. He's always connected to the manifest presence in a way that enables him to speak the words of the presence. The presence was speaking from his throat, even though it says these are the words that Moses has placed them. But because we have God's agreement, we understand that the presence was speaking from him. And that's the kind of process we see with Moses, always being able to, or learning and being trained to always be able to convey a godly message. This is, of course, a message for all of us. I mean, if we want, we are all servants of the Lord. Anybody who sees himself as believing in the Lord, a believer of God, we are all those kinds of servants. We have more than 40 years to be trained. We have an entire life, and it is possible to always be accurate with what we say, with the words we say, so that they will suit and go along with the words with the words of the manifest presence to everybody around us. This Saturday night we will be keeping the 9th of Av. The 9th of Av is the day when the temple was destroyed, and it is very important for us to feel connected with that day. It is not just the Jewish people who have lost a house of prayer. It's the entire world that has lost the house of prayer. It is not just the Jewish people who has lost, their ability to serve God fully, to the full extent of it. All mankind, all human beings have lost that ability. Even more so, it is not just us as people who have lost the house, but God himself, the manifest presence itself, has lost its home. It is the house of the Lord, as we say. So if it's the house of the Lord and the house is gone, that means that the Lord has lost his own house, not because he wasn't able to keep it, but because we were not worthy, or we have not been worthy enough to have that house with us. And the one thing we have to do is to become worthy again. And it is possible. It's not a crazy idea. It is possible to become worthy again. When we start thinking about these are the words that Moses has placed, and when we start behaving in such way and being the servants which we were created to be, maybe that'll be that sort of restoration of the house we are so longing for. Shabbat Shalom.
טוב להודות לאדוני, וזמר לשמך עליון, עלי עשור